Are tears a sign of an old wound that hasn't healed? Or is it just a sign of a confession that has been hidden behind the spotlight of the world? When Taehyung said that sentence right in front of Jungkook, the mood changed instantly. Jungkook couldn't hold back his tears. But why? Is it about the past that they failed to fix? About promises never kept? Or is there something deeper, darker, that HYBE has been covering all this time? Jungkook couldn't hold back the tears after what Taehyung said. What happened after this shook the army. The afternoon seemed normal. The sun hung low in the Seoul sky, and the wind blew softly as if it didn't know that the world would stop spinning for millions of people just because of one sentence. One sentence. But who would have thought that the phrase would slide out of Kim Taehyung's mouth, spoken in front of millions of eyes who watched their first live after a period of compulsory military service that demanded so many unspoken things? Is this a coincidence? Or is it designed to be a stage of recognition that has been delayed? The two of them, Taehyung and Jungkook, have just completed their state duty. Their faces, although they still kept traces of the rigors of training and the chill of military mornings, looked calm. But only until that moment, when Taehyung looked at Jungkook, smiled faintly, then said something that made the whole room suddenly quiet. Not just them, but also the hundreds of staff behind the camera, the editors holding the manuscript, even the army watching at the end of the world, all froze. It wasn't long, it wasn't complicated, but it was enough to make Jungkook fall silent, and then look down, and then, inevitably, his tears fell. I still keep everything, Kook, everything you said that night. Instantly, the world of fandom became a puzzle field. That night? Which night? What did Jungkook say? Is this about their quarrel before the draft? About Jungkook's shocking decision to isolate himself and leave early for training camp? Or is it related to the old rumors that had circulated, that there is an unresolved conflict between the two, a wound that does not heal even though time goes on? HYBE has not yet opened his voice. The army? They're crazy. Footage of the live video spread across social media in seconds. The hashtags Jungkook Menanges, Taekook Confrontasi, and Kevin Aaron BTS dominate the global trending topic. But what exactly happened? What was the content of the conversation that night that Taehyung alluded to? And more importantly, why was Jungkook crying? Is this the first time he feels he can no longer hide all the pain that has been locked tightly in a smile on stage? Or because finally someone, the only person who knows everything, chose to reopen a sheet that had been thought closed? Some fans attributed it to their last VLive broadcast before enlistment, where Jungkook was visibly agitated and Taehyung didn't say much at all. At that time, many thought it was just fatigue. But now, the question becomes much deeper. What exactly has been hidden from all of us all this time? Is it about betrayal? About a silent goodbye that was never made public? Or is it about a major decision that one of them regrets to this day? The camera highlights the face of Jungkook, who can no longer pretend. Her eyes were wet, her breathing was heavy, and for the first time, she didn't try to wipe away her tears. He let it fall. And in the silence that seized thousands of spectators, one sentence was barely audible. I didn't know you still remembered. That sentence, for some reason, felt more painful than the cry itself. Is Jungkook hoping Taehyung forgets? Is he trying to bury something painful? Or do you want them to disappear so you can start over? Without guilt, without the burden of the past. And here is the most tearing question. Why did they allow us to believe that everything was fine all this time, when two best friends, two brothers who grew up together for more than a decade, stand next to each other with teary eyes and can no longer pretend? The world seems to discover a new fact that not everything that is beautiful on the screen is perfect behind it. BTS is not just a symbol of success. They are a symbol of sincerity, struggle, and real wounds. And behind Jungkook's smile that day, we could all see something broken that couldn't be healed with just applause, and after that, silence. Live was stopped ahead of schedule. No explanation. There is no clarification. Just a world full of questions. Jungkook didn't show up for 2 days afterwards. Taehyung nodded as well. And HYBE? As always, closing all gaps with a privacy request. But the fans are not silent. Some of them began to unpack old archives. They found a 2023 videotape in which Jungkook once said, "There's one thing I haven't finished, but I'm afraid if I finish it, I'll lose someone." Is it about Taehyung? Is he afraid that he will end a relationship that means so much to him if all the truth is revealed? Now all eyes are on one thing. BTS's reunion scheduled for later this year. Are they really ready? Has this wound been healed? Or will it grow even more gaping before the world? Are we witnessing the beginning of a reconciliation? Or the beginning of the end? And even crazier, some army speculated that Taehyung's remarks were not spontaneity, but rather a signal. Signal that he will no longer be silent. Signal that BTS is not just a beautiful, industry-curated story, but also a true story of pain, betrayal, and hope for healing. Jungkook is now not only known as the golden mean, but as someone who honestly shows that crying is not weakness. That tears, in fact, are sometimes the deepest form of honesty that the camera, fans, or even yourself cannot lie to. And one question still resonates in everyone's hearts. What really happened that night? What did Taehyung keep all this time? And what will happen after this? Night changed to morning, and the world has not really been able to forget that short sentence. I still keep everything, Kook, everything you said that night. And now, after that moment was immortalized in the minds of every army, a wave of theories and emotions began to flood social media. It's not just a question, it's also worry, anger, suspicion, and hope, all mixed into one unstoppable tsunami of emotion. Army's most loyal began piecing together the pieces of the past like an emotional detective searching for evidence from every old video, every VLive broadcast, to every post on Weverse that had been ignored. Some accounts found something jarring, a short voicemail that Jungkook had uploaded in 2022 and then deleted a few minutes later. In the message, a heavy voice is heard, like a person who is holding back something. Sometimes I wish I never told you that, but if I shut up, I'm gonna explode. And even more surprisingly, one army managed to record a live that was deleted before it was finished that night, saving a copy before it was taken down by HYB. In the 9th minute, before the camera went off, it was clear Taehyung was looking at Jungkook with a wounded look, then said, "I guess we'll talk about it when we get back. You chose to run away. Dodge? From what?" The answer is never explicitly given. But as Jungkook's tears flow unstoppably, everyone begins to understand these are not tears of joy returning to the entertainment world. These are not happy tears because of the reunion. It's the tears of someone who for 2 years harbored something that probably no one in the world could imagine his burden. Is it true that Jungkook and Taehyung had a big fight before they entered the military? Some of Big Hit's old staff, who now work elsewhere, began to speak anonymously. One of them mentioned that in early 2023, just before the military enlistment was officially announced, there was an incident in the rehearsal room that caused the choreography session to be cancelled. They both came out of the room with the same face. No one's talking. All just shut up and wait. And as it turned out, not only in the training studio. One of the senior choreographers also gave a vague hint via Instagram story. Sometimes, two people who are closest can hurt each other more deeply than anyone else. But is it just a matter of fighting? Or more than that? Some fans speculated that Jungkook's words on the night Taehyung called had to do with a big personal decision. Old rumors are again sticking out about the possibility that Jungkook wants to quit a particular project, or even from the group. Sounds crazy? Maybe. But what if it's true? Sources close to the management revealed that ahead of the draft, there was a big discussion between the members and the label. Jungkook was said to be very depressed due to his solo schedule, the pressure of expectations as the golden magne, and personal conflicts that made him feel alienated even from the members themselves. And that's when, he said, Jungkook confessed to Taehyung that he felt tired of being the version of himself that everyone wants to be. And Taehyung, he was silent, not replying at the time. According to the source, that night they had a fight. And it would also be the last night they spoke honestly, until 2 years later, on a sudden live broadcast, when all those emotions exploded like a time bomb. And now, after the live event, all parties are silent. There is no new schedule from Jungkook. Taehyung didn't mention anything on social media. Even Jimin, who is usually quick to defuse a fire between his two best friends, simply posted a crescent moon emoji, without any captions. What symbol is that? Is the code silent in the midst of chaos? But just as everyone was trying to figure it out, one Korean fanbase account leaked something that made everyone's heart beat faster, a letter. Handwritten letter. It was found on the back of Taehyung's old lyric book displayed at the BTS Museum Collection exhibition in Busan. The letter was incomplete, only a few lines, but very striking. "I'm sorry if I ever made you feel alone. I just want you to know, even when I'm quiet, I'm still there for you, but I know my silence may feel like a betrayal." Signed, JKN. When the letter went viral, speculation reached a high point. Is this an old letter that hasn't been sent yet? Or was it written after the events of that night? Why was it left in Taehyung's book? Did Taehyung intentionally let him be discovered? Or is this just a very painful coincidence? HYB then issued a brief statement. "We respect the privacy of our artists and ask all parties to refrain from excessive speculation." But precisely this statement is considered to strengthen the suspicion that there is a big thing hidden. Meanwhile, the army did not remain silent. They started a campaign called #TalkToEachOther, a call for Taehyung and Jungkook to open up, not just to explain but to heal. For this time, their wounds are not only theirs, they are felt by the millions of hearts that grew up with them. Days change weeks. Jungkook still hasn't shown up. Taehyung only posted one thing, a photo of a dark sky with one bright star. Her caption was just 3 words, "I still remember." And that was the end of silence. Because a few days later, the official announcement came. BTS will perform for the first time as a full-fledged formation since completing their enlistment at a closed-door reunion event in Seoul. The event was for the media only, not broadcast live. But the army knows this is where everything will be answered. However, no one is really ready yet for what comes after this. That day came. Seoul's skies were shrouded in a thin cloud, as if the universe knew what a heavy step 7 men who had walked together for more than a decade would take. The building where the closed reunion conference took place was heavily guarded. No fans, no general audience. Only limited media and HYB's in-house production team. But outside the building, hundreds of soldiers remained standing in silence, dressed in purple from head to toe, holding banners and posters with messages such as "We trust you," "Jungkook, you are not alone," and "Please talk to him, Tae." The room was cold, although the temperature of Seoul that day was warm. No music, no fancy opening. Just a circular chair and 7 men sitting with different expressions. Jim and Jen try to keep it quiet. Suga looked like he was analyzing the situation, his eyes sharp, like he knew something was going to explode. J-Hope, with her bitter smile, looks at the 2 people sitting far apart, Taehyung and Jungkook, sitting at the right and left ends of the table. They looked like 2 poles that did not want to merge at all. But you know, the different poles have the strongest attraction, and maybe that's what makes it all too emotional to bear. Questions from journalists began with ordinary things. About the latest project, about military life, about the album. But it didn't take long before one question from a middle-aged female reporter destroyed all the mock walls. There were emotional moments in your last live, especially when Jungkook was seen crying after Taehyung's statement. Without violating privacy too deeply, is there anything you would like to clarify to the fans who love you both so much? All quiet. Nothing moves. Jin sighed and seemed to want to intercede. But Taehyung raised his hand, asking for talk time. His voice is calm, but his tone is heavy. Like someone who has been preparing these words for years. I know that Liv surprised a lot of people, but I've been keeping things for too long. And enlistment time gave me a chance to think. Sometimes, we are too afraid of losing, to the point that we prefer silence to telling the truth. Everyone looked at him. Jungkook stays down. But her tears began to wane again. Taehyung continued. That night, before he left for camp first, we had a fight. Not out of hate, because love is too deep. I was disappointed because I felt like he was giving up. But I also forgot that he was only human. And that's when Jungkook lifted his face. His eyes were red. And what happened next made the whole room choked. I'm not giving up, Taehyung. I'm just tired. His voice broke. I've been holding back everything alone for too long. Expectations. Responsibility. And when I say I want to go faster, it's not because I want to run away from you, but because I'm scared. If I stay, I'll ruin everything. Jimin lowered his head, covering his face with his hands. I thought you hated me back then. Taehyung replied in a trembling voice. You're not talking to me. You didn't even say goodbye. I was afraid I would cry and not be able to leave. Jungkook replied. And I know if I cry in front of you, I won't be able to leave you. All members hold their breath. Suga clasped his hands tightly. He leaned back, his eyes closed for a moment. I wrote you a letter, Taehyung, but I never dared to give it. I found the letter in Busan. Taehyung said quietly. That saved me, because for the first time, I know that you never really left. In that moment, the world seemed to stop. No more superstars, no more labels. Only 2 friends whose hearts are broken by the hopes and fears that they have never spoken so far. Jungkook got up from his chair. With a shaky step, he approached Taehyung. Cameras that record do not dare to switch angles. This is not a stage. It's a confession. It's redemption. As Jungkook's hands touched Taehyung's shoulders, and as the 2 hugged each other tightly for the first time in public since the military separated them, a tearful scream from outside the building was heard. The army who watched from the large screens installed outside the building wept with them. It's not just a reunion. It's healing. The conference session cannot continue. All the members decided to stop answering questions and instead sat close together, calming each other down. Some staff tried to stop the internal live recording, but RM's voice was clearly audible. Let the world see our true side. Not the perfect one, but the human. And from that day on, everything changed. Jungkook posted a letter he actually wrote to Taehyung. She uploaded it to Weverse with a caption, finally getting to where it's supposed to be. The letter was long and full of wounds, but also full of hope. The content describes how heavy a burden he carries as the center of the world's attention and how important the existence of Taehyung has been his refuge. Even without a word, Taehyung responded with a song. He didn't say much, but released a single track titled Bamgadar that night, a melancholy ballad whose lyrics are the cry of a heart that has been frozen for too long. And HYB? This time, they did not stop or silence. They released an official statement. BTS is a group that is not only strong on stage, but also powerful because of their openness to feelings. We stand with them. Some time later, BTS performed together in a closed reunion concert, and their first performance was the song Spring Day. But this time, when Taehyung's part was over, Jungkook clasped his hands and sang the last part together. The world is crying. The army is crying. And for the first time in a very long time, everything felt whole again. However, despite the very emotional and touching moment, one question remains. Is this really the end of their conflict?